Hello, busy single parents. It's me, your favorite author, transformational speaker, and busy single parent advocate, author Mia Turner-Whitley, author of Amazon best-selling book, Life According to the Busy Single Parent, Success Stories and Solutions to Bring Calm to Your Chaotic World. Yes, got to give it up. Got to give up the love for the busy single parent because you did it again. Yes, you did it again. And thank you for being your wonderful self and pressing through all the challenges you faced yesterday, last week, last month, last year. This is your weekly soul pause, a moment just for you. We're now getting ready to wrap up time spent with each of the authors in my book, A Life According to the Busy Single Parent. We have absolutely some amazing authors. We have 2 remaining on our journey where we learn a little bit about the authors and then we go into some of their excerpts. So get ready as I introduce our next author, Mrs. Stephanie C. Dixon, and the title of her chapter is Busy Life. So before we get into Busy Life, let's jump in and learn a little bit about her. Stephanie C. Dixon was born in El Paso, Texas, but raised in Dallas, Texas. She graduated from A. Maceo Smith High School in 1986 and then attended cosmetology school. Stephanie has been a licensed cosmetologist for 34 years. Along with cosmetology, she has a crafting business, does mentoring, is a playwright, and writes short films and many other businesses. She is a serial entrepreneur, y'all. Stephanie is the host of her radio show, The Inspirational Diva Show, on Facebook, IGTV, and YouTube. So let's jump right into her chapter as we share some of her excerpts. Busy Life by Stephanie C. Dixon. Mama, please don't work so late so that we can go on our date, were the words that kept ringing through my head the whole day with each client that I did, making sure that they got a hair service that was quick and uncomplicated. My son and I had a date every Saturday to IHOP. The cook knew us very well and knew what we would order. Meat, steak, eggs, and pancakes. Ordering my steak from IHOP made me feel fancy without spending so much money on one. And my son, pancakes and omelet. We had so much fun on our dates, and it was something that we both looked forward to. I didn't have a lot of money, but I wanted to always do something with him so that we didn't seem so broke. Now, let me correct my previous statement. My son and I had a date planned to go to IHOP every Saturday, but sometimes those plans did not work out because I did have to work, or maybe the money wasn't always there to go on a date. As a busy single parent, there were sometimes some sacrifices that had to be made. Well, heck, there were a lot of times that sacrifices had to be made, but I always had a plan B. Plan B was so that we could still spend time together and have fun. All right, we're going to jump around. She got some good, juicy information about her life and starting Style and Diva Productions, so you want to get the book to read that. And we're going to jump over to, I remember as William got older, we would have football, or he would have football practice at school and would call me when it was over. Mama, I'm ready. How long will it be? I'm on my way. Just lying, trying to get that one client under the dryer and shampoo the other, or do whatever I needed to do to make me not be so behind when I returned from picking him up. When I would finally get there, it was dark outside and he would be sitting out there by himself. I would feel so bad, but I always tried to make it up to him. Sometimes it worked, the makeup, and sometimes it didn't. But I was just trying to work it out. Clients didn't always understand. I remember a client who would always make her appointment when it was time to pick up my son. So off the bat, she knew that she would have to wait sometimes until I went and picked him up from school, fed him, and took him to my mama's house. He was too young to stay at home by himself at that time. So one day she came and I had gone to pick her up and came right back to the salon, did her hair, and was glad because she was the only client during that time. So I didn't have anyone else to rush and start on. When I finished and she was making her next appointment, she abruptly stopped and said, "I ain't gonna have to wait until you go pick nobody up, am I?" I was about to say, "Well, I will start on you and then go and get him." But something hit me in the pit of my stomach, anger. And I told her, "No, you won't have to wait, because you ain't never got to come back no more. And I'm not making my son sit at the school and wait just because you want to get your hair done." She looked at me like, "No, this chick didn't." And I looked at her like, "Yes, I did." Well, needless to say, she came back to the salon one time after that. But my attitude was so bad toward her, she never came back again. My clientele had grown so much, and I was so happy about that. I could pay bills and have little play money, and so I played. It was a big deal to me to be able to take my son on vacation. Honey, we jumped on that Greyhound bus. Yes, the Greyhound. And went to San Antonio a few times and Austin and a few other places. It was our highlight of the year, and it was great. My son was so glad that I had taken time away from my busy schedule just to have fun with him. That was our extended date. Oh, I love it. And then she tells more good information, some nice, good stuff. And then she says, this is one part I want to read. "My son and I went to rehearsal because I already made it clear that he must come with me. He wasn't a bother and would have something to occupy his time. It was no problem because other people had brought their children as well." Whew, I was not alone in this single woman who was a mom club. Rehearsals went well. William and I would run lines when I got home so that I could keep up with the famous people in the play. One couple, David and Tamla Mann, fell so in love with William. And if I see them now, it's always, "How is your son?" But they treated us with such love and kindness. One of the other actors was K104 former radio personality Nanette Lee. She was awesome. And now it's production day and we finished rehearsal, and I hear Nanette say, "Y'all want to go eat?" And I didn't reply because surely she couldn't be talking to little old me. I was preparing to go to the nearby sandwich shop for my son and me, and she looked at me and said again, "Y'all want to go eat?" And I'm like, "Me?" And she said, "Yeah." Lord, I was like a little kid. William and I both were so excited to go. It was just us three going to Papados, my first time going ever. She treated us to a meal, and then we went to her apartment where she had a limo to come and pick us up and take us back to the venue where we did the show and traveled a little bit with it also. Oh, I'm loving that, all that fun activity, and this is how we're going to wrap hers up. Would I do it again? Yes, I would make a few better choices, but for my son, I would do it all again. And that is Stephanie's section or chapter on the busy life. Thank you for taking this moment for you. I hope that Stephanie's excerpt spoke to you, your heart, and reminded you of your resilience, your brilliance, and your belonging. Be gentle and have grace with you. Look for the final chapter of my book, Life According to the Busy Single Parent, where we'll visit with another one of our busy single parent best-selling authors. And don't forget, take 5 minutes for your self-care.